What on earth are you doing here? Fred Smith snapped at his estranged wife, Beatrice. Fred had decided to come to his weekly family dinner with his parents to introduce them to his new fiancée, Dr. Quinn Murphy. But instead, Beatrice had shown up. And even though the relationship with Quinn was a ruse, he needed his parents to believe that they were in love, so that they could convince Beatrice to divorce him. The only people Beatrice would listen to were his parents. Beatrice shrugged off her designer coat. "I was invited by your parents." Fred glared at Peter and Marcy Smith, seated at the head of their massive dining table in their luxurious home. Marcy avoided his eye contact, but Peter met Fred's angry gaze. "How could you invite her behind my back?" Fred yelled. "You're my father. You should be on my side, not hers." "She's Jake's mother, Fred. You can't just cut her out of your life or your son's," Peter insisted. "Yes, I can," Fred argued. "I would not advise that, son. You do not want to rip your family apart." Fred stood up and pointed at Beatrice across the table. "She's the one who broke our family up." "How did I do that? You're the one here with another woman," Beatrice snapped. She leaned back in her chair and placed her expensive heels on the table. She admired her new shoes and how they sparkled in the light. Beatrice would not divorce Fred. "I'm keeping my husband and my husband's money," she thought to herself. This lifestyle and family suited Beatrice. She wasn't going down without a fight. Fred walked over to Beatrice and pushed her feet back onto the floor. Beatrice stuck her tongue out at him. So childish, Quinn thought. She forced herself to remain calm and not to react to Beatrice. If Beatrice wanted to act like a child, she would treat her like one. "Do you need to sit in a timeout?" Quinn motioned to an empty chair in the corner of the room. Beatrice rolled her eyes. "Stay out of this, doctor." "I will when you stop disrespecting my future husband," Quinn retorted. Beatrice ignored her and turned to Fred. "I know we've had our ups and downs, but we are meant to be together." Fred turned to his father. "Beatrice ruined any chance of our marriage succeeding when she abused our son, Jake." There was silence around the table. Everyone seemed frozen by Fred's confession. Beatrice tried to laugh off Fred's comment, but the laugh came out strangled and more like a sob. She fidgeted with her designer coat. Marcy finally broke the silence. "Surely this is a lie, Beatrice. You would never hurt our beloved grandson, would you?" "I didn't hurt him too badly." Beatrice didn't understand what was so bad about smacking the kid around a bit. Someone needed to teach that boy manners. Fred was useless and only spoiled the boy rotten with more and more gifts. Marcy Smith gasped. Peter covered his mouth with his hand. Quinn gripped the napkin on the table in front of her. She tried to convince herself not to pick up the expensive plate and smash it over Beatrice's head. She forced herself to breathe in long inhales and slow exhales. Just then, though, Peter stood up from the head of the table. His hand shook as he pointed a finger at Beatrice. His voice was full of rage when he spoke. "Get out. Get out right now!" he yelled. Beatrice froze. She finally looked scared. What do you mean? You said I was always welcome here, Peter. You said that I was the daughter that you never had." "That was before you hurt my grandson. Get out. You're not welcome here ever again." "You don't mean that. You don't. This is my home, too." Marcy stood beside her husband, Peter. "We mean it, Beatrice. Get out now, or we will call the police and force you out." Beatrice stood up calmly and walked toward the door, but when she passed by Quinn, She leaned down and whispered in her ear. I know your secret, Doctor, and I'm coming for you next. You won't take this money from me. Good luck with that, Beatrice. She watched Beatrice stomp away and slammed shut behind her.
Hi, I am Quinn. Want to know my battle? Then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of A Mother's Battle now.